Son of Sam. In the sweltering summer of 1976, New York City stood on the precipice of a gripping nightmare. The Big Apple, a metropolis already grappling then with economic strife, rising crime rates, and urban decay, found itself thrust into an atmosphere of unparalleled fear and paranoia. It was on a hot summer's evening that the first tremors of unease rippled through the city. Young couples in parked cars became unwitting targets of a shadowy assailant. The brutality of the shootings was matched only by their apparent randomness. The tranquility of a summer night was shattered as lives were extinguished and panic spread like wildfire. The chilling realization that nowhere was safe began to take hold, and the city's sense of security crumbled. In the midst of the growing panic, law enforcement mobilized to combat the menace. Different police departments collaborated to form task forces, driven by a shared determination to apprehend the elusive killer. However, their efforts were hampered by a perplexing puzzle. The victims appeared to have no common connection, rendering traditional investigative methods ineffective. The police faced the daunting challenge of deciphering a motive that seemed to defy reason. Meanwhile, media's relentless coverage transformed the case into a national obsession. Newspapers and television broadcasts dissected each development, amplifying the atmosphere of fear and fascination. Adding to the mystique, the killer, who identified himself as the son of Sam, sent taunting letters to both the police and media. The name chosen by the suspect was a reference to his belief that a malevolent entity resided within his neighbor's black Labrador retriever, owned by a man named Sam Carr. This canine, according to him, commanded him to commit the crimes that terrorized the city. These letters served multiple purposes. First, they fueled media frenzy, as newspapers scrambled to publish excerpts from the letters, spreading the killer's words across the city. Second, the killer intended to distance himself from responsibility, painting a picture of himself as a mere pawn in the hands of a demonic force. This calculated strategy raised questions about his mental state and motives, as well as the intersection of his psychological disturbances with the crimes he committed. That time, the concept of a malevolent spirit controlling a man's actions captured both fascination and horror, adding an air of the supernatural to the already chilling events. The letters added complexity to an already complex case. As the specter of the son of Sam continued to haunt New York City, law enforcement scrambled to decipher the elusive killer's motives and patterns. With the city's nerves frayed and fear lurking around every corner, a wave of unease swept over law enforcement. The victims of the son of Sam seemed utterly unrelated, a fact that confounded investigators. The absence of a discernible pattern or connection among the victims hindered the establishment of a clear motive or lead, casting a daunting shadow over the investigation. While detectives painstakingly pieced together evidence from the crime scenes, forensic science played a pivotal role in the quest for answers. Ballistic analyses, fingerprints, and the examination of the bullets used in the shootings all contributed to the mosaic of clues. However, each step forward was accompanied by its share of setbacks, potential suspects who were ultimately cleared and leads that petered out into dead ends. After months of relentless pursuit, the investigation into the son of Sam began to yield crucial breakthroughs. The hunt for the elusive killer reached a climax on an August day in 1977 when a seemingly routine parking ticket led investigators to David Berkowitz's doorstep. His unassuming facade crumbled as his double life was exposed. The man behind the terror, a postal worker in his 20s, confessed to the shootings that had gripped the city for over a year. The revelation sent shockwaves through New York and beyond. A postal worker by day and a seemingly ordinary neighbor by night, he blended seamlessly into the mosaic of the city, making his arrest a surprise to everyone. What they don't know, Berkowitz was a difficult and occasionally violent child. His erratic behavior began after the death of his adoptive mother in 1967 and was intensified when his adoptive father remarried in 1971 and moved to Florida without him. In 1971, Berkowitz joined the Army and became an excellent marksman before he left the service in 1974. According to his diary, he set some 1,500 fires in New York City in the mid-1970s. As the legal system swung into action, Berkowitz's case became a focal point of attention. The dramatic confession, the chilling tales of his alleged demonic inspiration, and the sheer magnitude of the terror he had inflicted on the city captivated both the media and the public. The trial proceedings showcased the complexities of the legal process, including debates over Berkowitz's mental fitness, his competency to stand trial, and the potential for an insanity defense. In June 1978, Berkowitz pleaded guilty to the son of Sam shootings. He was subsequently sentenced to 6 25-year to life sentences. After his arrest, court-appointed psychiatric experts found that Berkowitz was suffering from paranoia and delusions. With the capture and conviction of Berkowitz, the city of New York emerged from the grip of the Son of Sam terror. The Son of Sam case extended into popular culture, as movies, books, documentaries, and television shows capitalized on the fascination with true crime. narratives inspired by the case proliferated, often weaving fact with fiction for dramatic effect. It also prompted a reevaluation of law enforcement practices, leading to the development of criminal profiling techniques that would later become pivotal in solving other complex cases. Meanwhile, the Reign of Terror had profound implications for personal security and individual behaviors. People became more vigilant about their surroundings, altering their daily routines and adopting precautionary measures. It also revealed vulnerabilities within society and led to a heightened awareness of personal safety. Years passed. In 1987, Berkowitz found God and became a Christian, calling himself the Son of Hope. At first, he did not aim to get a parole, but years later, he said that if the Lord were to give him an opportunity to be released after serving a lot of years, he would be open to that. Such was actually new because for at least 20 years, or maybe more, there was no interest in that. Now 70, he is currently held at the Shawangland Correctional Facility in upstate New York. And with that, we have come to the end of our video. Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. This is Ben saying, see you next time.